looks like we have about 2 more platforms here, and then we will be at the boss. The boss, of course, is the most difficult thing in this dungeon and requires a lot of practice. I think it took us 20 or so attempts before we killed it one time, and I'll be giving you as much tips as possible here. How's it going, everybody? My name is McProseph, and today I'm joined with McWife23 and the McDaughter to show you how to do the hardest dungeon in the game. As you can see here, we're going to be doing dungeon number, what level is it? 60? Dungeon level 60 on max difficulty, 115 nightmare mode. This boss is incredibly difficult. While it is soloable, it did take us weeks to figure out how to beat it. So today I'm going to be showing you how to beat it with friends. It's highly recommended that you bring a healer. So shoutouts to the McDaughter who will be healing us today. Let's go ahead and start the show. Dungeon 5-1. So straight off, you really want to make sure that you either build up your X ability right before starting, or be prepared with a shield just before engaging the starter pigs. So as you can see, McDaughter just gave us a shield. We're going to go ahead and begin, skip this little cinematic, and immediately get out of the range of these charged boar wolves. If they hit you, they pretty much one-shot you, so be very careful. If you run into problems, just jump down here on this log, and you can usually use your ranged attacks, or at least heal yourself, before engaging in battle again. I will be doing a video soon on the best pets to have in the game. The McDaughter right now has a butterfly. Actually, we all do. You might be able to guess straight away that the butterfly is, in my opinion, the best pet in the game. A close second would be the lion pet that allows you to have a shield if you need shields on your team. But the butterfly, as you can see in this dungeon, allows enemies to be trapped and damaged at the same time. And if you can trap the enemy, that prevents a lot of the damage and just makes your team so much more successful. So now we're past most of the charged boar wolves. These crystal crabs aren't really a problem. Just kind of stay away from them and don't stand in all the bad stuff on the ground. That's generally the best thing to do in this game, is just not to stand in bad stuff. Every once in a while you'll get an elite like this who just takes a little bit longer to kill. Just keep your distance and keep mowing them down. If you are a melee, of course, it's going to be a total different story. Highly suggest a ranged class for this dungeon. Don't fall in the holes. Got some more crystal crabs here. We just mow them down. And if you're not a healer, you could always bring a shielding pet. That way you can do damage and shield yourself. Next up, we got some cursed horses here. They do a lot of damage if you get close enough to them. So what we like to do is pull them all at once, get them into a group like this, trap them with our butterfly, as seen here, and then just shoot them down from afar. If you are melee in this, these minions right here will just destroy you, and you'll just die pretty instantly. But as you can see, we just keep taking turns with our butterfly, and overall just makes the dungeon so much easier. Falling off these platforms here is really bad, so make sure you're on your mount for this. That way you don't fall in. Again, with the cursed horses, we try to drag them all to one spot, trap them with our butterfly, and then just repeat. Feel free to use your X ability at least 2 to 3 times before the boss. It's super helpful and allows you to kill bigger minions that are elites much quicker, because you are timed on this event. Alright, make sure not to fall in again here. And up here it gets a little bit more challenging. You have to avoid all of the arrows that are coming from the left and the right here. Jump on your platforms. If you need to, just wait for the arrows to go by and then jump to the next one. Once again, the butterfly comes in big handy here. Trap the enemies, shoot them down before they get to you, and just move on to the next platform. Easy as pie. If you don't have the butterfly, however, the enemies are going to be all over the place, and it's going to make it so much more difficult for you. Here's another classic example of just don't stand in the bad stuff. These blossom trees, you really want to mow them down as quickly as possible because they spawn a lot of the bad stuff that you could stand in and hurt you. Once you get up here, this is another dangerous part of the dungeon. If you can trap these early, it's best. But what we like to do is go ahead and pull all of them, trap them, and then just mow them down. But it's super easy to get overwhelmed right here because there's a lot of minions. Looks like the McDaughter needs some healing. Do we have another shield? Nice, thank you. Alright, we're headed on down to this tree. He'll be mowed down pretty easily because we moved all the goblins away from him. I'm going to go ahead and start on the next platform here and get them all situated. I like to wait until the goblins are just close to the tree, and then I'll start my butterfly. Alright, looks like we have about 2 more platforms here, and then we will be at the boss. The boss, of course, is the most difficult thing in this dungeon and requires a lot of practice. I think it took us 20 or so attempts before we killed it one time, and I'll be giving you as much tips as possible here. Alright, so here is another example of an area where you can save up your X ability. As you can see, my X ability is about 33%, and if you get here with enough time, you can wait before the boss spawns. That way your X ability can be renewed. In this case, we've done it so many times, we're just going to go for it. But if you can summon your X ability and kill this first tree right here, that is almost always elite, you're really in a good spot. So we'll try to get some shields from our healer, and then we'll get started here. Looks like my wife got some shield. Good luck. Get out of the purple. There's so much on the ground here. So they recently made it to where if you're range, you can continue shooting while moving, and it's made it so much easier. You really want to target down these trees, and I always tend to go after this tree over here myself. It helps to stay in a group, that way you can shield each other. But if you do get separated, just try to do your best to take out the trees. Once the tree is gone, head to the next one. There are a lot of minions that run around doing a ton of damage, and you're going to be moving a whole lot in this dungeon here. So again, highly recommended not to bring melee. Shoot the trees, keep shooting them dead, and then once all the minions are dead, you're going to summon a crystal that you have to kill very quickly, or else it will explode and kill you instantly. So we have this blue slingshot goblin here we're killing. I'm saving up my X and my E abilities, trying to avoid the damage. Here comes the crystal. Sometimes the crystal spawns as far from you as possible, and it's very difficult to kill fast. So you'll want to save a special attack just for that. After it dies, you want to run around a little bit before going to the boss, because you're going to be summoning a lot of poison. If you stand in that, you're going to get killed pretty quickly. It usually kills you in about 2 hits. Once you're at the boss, do as much damage as possible. Summon your X, anything that's special. As you can see here, I've summoned my minions. I'm going to let them hit the boss for a few seconds, and as they're about to die, I will explode them. Summon some more minions, do all my abilities, and explode my minions one more time. Every once in a while we get lucky and kill them in one shot, but if you're doing this your first time or watching this video, you're probably going to have to kill him at least 2 or 3 times. Then you just start this phase over again. Don't stand in bad. Focus on the trees. And overall just focus on staying alive. We have noticed that if you're super low in damage, one thing you can do is actually run back the way you came, all the way out here, and you can stand out here to gain health. Now you'll notice if I stop right here, sometimes poison will be spawned directly under me, and I simply have to keep running. But as long as I keep running out here, I can regain all of my health and even build up my X ability That way I can come back in here and kill the trees quick. Alright, just gonna go ahead and finish off this tree here. Looks like the boss is just about dead. We got about 2 bars left on him. Shouldn't be too bad. Just finish off this tree. Looks like we got maybe 1 more minion over there. Don't stand in bad. So in this phase, the square grates on the floor also do major damage, so you'll want to avoid those. Looks like the crystal spawned way over here again. Gonna kill that quick. It does spawn a ton of poison, so at this point, if you're standing in anything bad, you're just gonna die. Gotta be a lot of moving. Lots of moving. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and summon everything to include our X and 1 abilities. And that is the boss. Corrupted Greater Tree Boss. Level 115. Piece of cake on video. On YouTube, of course. But if you do this yourself, you'll notice it is quite challenging. Let's see if we get a legendary. I did get a empowering stone. Good deal. Will I get a legendary? So hard to get a legendary here. So far we got a purple. Come on, YouTube block. Sometimes I rub the chest like this. And then nothing. Did anybody get a legendary? McDaughter says no. McWife says no. Alright, well, that's the tutorial. Let me know in the comments below. Did you try the boss? Could you kill it? And did you find any strategies that work for you? Feel free to click like and subscribe. Discord's below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.